it's Katie, and welcome back to my booktube channel. For today's video, I will be doing my August TBR, and I'm really excited to talk about the books this month. I'm just really excited for all my videos this month in general because my birthday is this month, so that makes me super excited, and I also will be doing a couple book hauls later this month because I bought myself some birthday gifts, so stay tuned for that. But I'm really excited to read all these books this month, so let's jump into it. So the first book on my TBR is The Kiss of Deception by Mary E. Pearson, and I saw this book all over BookTok, which is the main reason I went and bought it. And I've heard of Mary E. Pearson because she wrote Dance of Thieves, which is also on my TBR, but I thought it would be really fun to go back to one of her first series instead. And this book actually sounds so good. So this follows Princess Leia, who is the first daughter of the House of Morrigan, and the Kingdom of Morrigan is steeped in traditions, and some of the traditions Leia can't abide by, one of them being the fact that she's going to have to marry a stranger to secure a political alliance. And so on her wedding day, she ends up fleeing, and she steals some ancient documents from the Chancellor's secret collection. She ends up escaping to this distant village where she tries to blend in with the average people that live there, and she ends up being really intrigued by these two handsome strangers. But it turns out one of these strangers are the prince she was meant to marry, and another one is an assassin sent to kill her. I mean, that just sounds so good. I love the idea of this taking place in a world where there's a ton of traditions and really intricate, like, different houses and kind of like royalty aspects to it, but also the fact that there's basically this love triangle, sort of, I'm assuming, but it's with the guy she was supposed to marry that she ran from and also somebody sent to kill her. I mean, that sounds like such a twisted romance and just a twisted book in general, and I cannot wait to read this one. I really think I'm going to love it. After that, we have Criers Moon by Catherine Purdy, and I feel like I've talked about this book before, and I've been wanting to read it for a while, so hopefully this month is finally the time to read it. I think I actually did talk about this in my 5-star predictions video, so if I remember, I will link that for you guys, but I am definitely really excited to read this. Also, Stephanie Garber has a blurb on the cover, and you know I love Carval, so that's another reason for me to pick this one up. But let me do my best to explain what this book is about to you guys if you don't already know. So, Bone Criers have a sacred duty, which is to ferry spirits to the afterlife. So, Bone Criers have a sacred duty, which is to ferry spirits to the afterlife, but the gods demand the ultimate sacrifice to prove your dedication. So it seems like we have 3 main characters, and the first one is Elise, who has been prepared to be a matriarch of Bone Criers since birth, and in order to become the matriarch, she needs to have the ultimate sacrifice and rite of passage, which is to kill the boy she's destined to love. Then we have Bastien, who is seeking revenge for the death of his father at the hands of the Bone Criers, and on the night that Elise is supposed to become the matriarch, he ends up stumbling upon the ritual, and their fates end up entwined in life and death. And then our other main character is Sabine, who is Elise's best friend, and she's never had the stomach for what Bone Criers do, but when she ends up finding out what happened during the night of the ritual and the bond between Elise and Bastien, she will do whatever it takes to save her friend and break the bond before they all die. This book sounds right up my alley. It's such an intricate fantasy world, and also I love that there's such a strong friendship in here, but also it sounds like the perfect setup for a forbidden romance, so I cannot wait. Fantasy romances are my favorite kind of romances, so I feel like I'm really going to love this one, and I can't wait to pick it up. I have been wanting to get my hands on this next one for so long, and now that I finally have it, I cannot wait to read it, and that is A Touch of Darkness by Scarlett St. Clair. This is a Hades Persephone retelling, and Hades and Persephone, that's like my favorite type of story from Greek mythology. I'm obsessed with Greek mythology, so I cannot wait to read something else with mythology involved. And also, it seems like it takes place in modern day, so I really love stories like that too. We have a good balance of fantasy and also modern day that we can relate to. And I know that this is also an adult romance, so it just has everything I love in books, and I am so excited to read this one. So for those of you that don't know, Persephone is the goddess of spring, but in this book, she's the goddess of spring by title only because ever since she was a little girl, flowers have shriveled at her touch. So she ended up moving to New Athens disguised as a mortal journalist. Then we also have Hades, who is the god of the dead, and he has built a gambling empire in the mortal world, and it's known that all of his bets are impossible. After a chance encounter with Hades, Persephone finds herself in a contract with the god of the dead where Persephone must create life in the underworld or she will lose her freedom forever. It just sounds so good. I can't even explain to you how excited I am to read this one. I am probably going to pick this one up first. I am just obsessed with this whole concept. Sounds amazing. I just can't wait to read it. I feel like this whole video is me just fangirling over all these books I've been wanting to read for a while, so we'll see what happens. I hope I love them as much as I think I will, but this next one is Daughter of the Siren Queen by Trisha Levenseller, and it's been a while since I read Daughter of the Pirate King, but I loved that book. That book is what made me obsessed with Trisha Levenseller's writing, and she is now one of my favorite authors. I feel like I talk about her a lot now, but I literally am so excited to pick this one up. I don't know what has taken me so long, but I really hope I'm going to love this. I can't wait to see more of Alosa and to get these nautical pirate vibes, and it's just so good. I might end up reading Daughter of the Pirate King again before picking this one up, just so I can continue the story and just throw myself back into this world, but I am pretty positive I'm going to love this one as well. Since all of those so far have been fantasy romances, I wanted to throw a couple adult romances and contemporaries in here just to kind of break it up. And the first one is Chasing Lucky by Jen Bennett. I've had this one for so long and I don't know why I haven't read it yet. I really enjoy Jen Bennett's books, so I'm sure this one will be no different, but this seems like a really cute contemporary romance. So basically, this follows Josie, who is a budding photographer, and it's always just been her and her mom. They kind of bounce from place to place, but finally they're moving back to their New England hometown. Ooh, they're also moving back to help run their family bookstore, so we get some bookstore vibes, which I know we all enjoy. She ends up bumping into Lucky, who is the town bad boy and actually her former childhood best friend, but he wants absolutely nothing to do with her. But after a disastrous pool party where an act of revenge goes wrong and he takes the blame for her, she's kind of caught up on the fact that he wants nothing to do with her, but he took the blame for her and she's not really sure why. So they kind of try to rekindle their friendship and get to know each other again, and it sounds like a really cute summer book to read. I love that our main character is a photographer. I love when main characters have fun hobbies like that, and also I'm a sucker for a good bad boy novel, so we'll see how this goes. I have a feeling he's not as much of a bad boy as everybody thinks he is, so we will see, but I am very excited to read this one. After that, I am hoping to read my first Colleen Hoover book. I'm hoping to read It Ends With Us. This is the first Colleen Hoover book that I own, and again, you've probably seen this all over BookTok. That's where most of my books are from, honestly. I'm a sucker for all of the books on BookTok, but I cannot wait to pick this one up, and I really hope I love Colleen Hoover's books. I'm sure that I will because most people love her as an author, and I also ordered 2 more of her books for my birthday, so I will be getting November 9 and Ugly Love, so if you've also read those, please let me know what you think without spoilers. I'm really excited to dive into some Colleen Hoover books, and I can't remember too much about this one. I think it's about this girl who grew up in a small town, but she moved away for school, and she ends up meeting this neurosurgeon who has this dislike for relationships or something like that. Yeah, he has a complete aversion to relationships, but he has a soft spot for Lily, so they have sort of a relationship together, and things start to not go wrong, but her relationship starts to overwhelm her, and so she starts having thoughts of her first love named Atlas, and she kind of left him behind when she moved away, but all of a sudden he reappears and kind of threatens everything that she has built with the neurosurgeon. And I think this sounds really cute. It sounds like it's going to be a second chance romance, and I can't wait. I know Colleen Hoover has a tendency to make people cry, so as somebody who is constantly looking for books to make me cry, because no book has done it yet, not successfully at least, so I'm really hoping this one will catch me off guard and make me cry, because I can't wait to find one that does. I feel kind of sad that I haven't found a book to make me cry yet. So again, if you have any book recommendations that you think can make me cry, please let me know in the comments. I would appreciate it. And then last but not least, we have Fire with Fire by Destiny Soria, and this is the Fairy Loot edition that I got recently, and I'm absolutely obsessed with this cover, but that is not the point. All I really know about this book is that it involves dragons and it's about sisters. This says 2 sisters divided they burn, and on the back it says, I didn't choose you and you didn't choose me, but we have each other now always. So I think that they were raised to basically hunt dragons, but then one of them ends up meeting a dragon in real life and bonding with one and realizing that they are not as bad as what they were raised to believe, and so now they are on opposite sides. The sisters are on opposite sides of this war, essentially, and it also takes place in, like, our world. I can't remember what type of fantasy that is. I'm not really good at remembering those genres. It's not high fantasy. It's, I don't know. I can't remember right now. If I remember, I will pop it up on the screen, but basically they go to school just like we would, so it takes place in urban fantasy. It's an urban fantasy because they also are going to high school, so you get that vibe as well. I'm really interested to see how they mesh high school with dragons and essentially this war, and also how their different stances on dragons kind of mess with their family relationships. But I cannot wait to pick this one up, and again, the cover is stunning, so hopefully I really enjoy it because I am just excited to display this cover everywhere. It's beautiful. Okay, so those are all the books I have on my August TBR. I feel like usually I don't finish my entire TBR by the end of the month, but I think this month might be the month. I picked books that I've been wanting to read for a while and ones that I am genuinely so excited to pick up. So hopefully I will finally finish my TBR, and then during my wrap-up we can have a little celebration because I've never read my entire TBR. So we will see how that goes, but I'm really excited. I can't wait to be making some of these birthday videos. I just love the month of August. It makes me so happy. But thank you guys so much for watching. Please like this video and subscribe to my channel. I would also love it if you would click the notification bell so you know when I upload next. Thank you guys so much for watching. I can't wait to see you in my next video.